Okay, the first budget in our operating budget, when we do our group of operating budgets, is the sales budget. So the sales budget is effectively us saying, okay, about how many units are we going to sell? And we start here because where we kind of go from there is, okay, then if this is what we're going to sell, then how many do we need to produce? If this is how many we produce, how much do we need? How much direct materials do we need to buy? How much direct labor do I need to have? So you can see it just rolls down all based on sales. If I don't know what my sales are, I can't estimate my sales. I can't know how much I'm going to produce. I can't know how much I would need to buy my direct materials, how much labor I need to have on hand, and then obviously overhead and everything else too. So it just kind of starts rolling from there. So this is probably the simplest, most straightforward budget of the group. And effectively, all we got to do is just figure out, okay, exactly how many are we going to sell. So this particular one here, we have Patrick Incorporated, and this is actually from the book, even though that's my name. This is actually from a book. Patrick Incorporated sells industrial solvents in 5-gallon drums. Patrick expects the following units to be sold in the first 3 months of the coming year. So we have January, we expect to sell 41,000 units. February, we expect to sell 38,000 units. March, we expect to sell 5,000 units. And it says the average price for a drum is $35. So that means that we can now figure out about what our sales are about, what our revenues are going to be from this. So I'll build a budget here. I should have a header, but I'm not going to worry about that right now, but I'd have a sales budget header. January, February, March, and then I'm going to have the first quarter total. And so I need to figure out how many units I'm going to sell. In January, it said I was going to sell 41,000 units. In February, it says I'm going to sell 38,000 units. In March, I'm going to sell 50,000 units. And so when we're trying to figure out the overall budgeted sales, we're talking about budgeted sales, budgeted revenue. Now we need to figure out what the average price is, and it's given. So the price is $35. Okay, so now I can figure out my sales by simply taking the number of units times the sales price. And so now I can get what my sales numbers are going to be. 1.4 million. Okay, now then over here in the totals column. Now this is a revenue account, sales to revenue account, which means it's a nominal account, not a real account. And accounting, what that means is that our nominal accounts are the ones that start over every year, ones that go on the financial statements that are for a time period, a given time period, whereas my real accounts are the ones that go on financial statements that are for a singular date. So an income statement is for a quarter or a year or a month, so it's for a period of time. A balance sheet, for example, that has my assets and liabilities on it is for a singular date. So in this case, since we're dealing with something from the income statement, I'm going to total up all the way across. And you'll see once we get to some more balance sheet stuff that that's not necessarily what you would do. So I've got each month's sales and I've got my total first quarter sales. Now I can use this budget to figure out how many I actually need to produce. That'll be the next video, but this is my sales budget so that I can use it to know what I need to actually make.